Hi, I'm Wagner AZ. I'm a celebrity photographer. I'm at the Hollywood Raw podcast, and I'm here to talk about my craziest story with Taylor Swift and Tola Holland on 4th of July weekend. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page, guys. We're happy to have you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the stuff.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. I got a drug addiction to feed.
Wagner, thank you for coming on the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of BuzzZipper, which is the hot account that you post your content, everyone else's content. It's just a fun thing. It's a fun site to see like what's going on in the world of entertainment news. But I got to say one thing. I always kiss butt before they come in on the podcast. When I first started this profession, I met Wagner in New York City, and he welcomed me with open arms. Him and his crew, the Pacos, were just good guys, and just like
times.
they were just fun time. They're fun guys to hang out with, and they were just cool. Like that, you know, like I wasn't competition to them. Like we were never competition because I did video, he does photos, but it was just fun hanging out with his group. And Wagner was just a good guy, and now he's a photographer in LA. And how do you like being in LA working as a photographer compared to New York?
I mean, LA is completely different game here. In New York, celebrity has to step out and walk on the streets. And usually when they go to New York, they are promoting. If they fly in, LA or anywhere else to New York, they are there to be kind of seen, if you are promoting a book or a movie or whatever it is, you're stepping out to be seen, And over here is different. They live here. So the game is a little different. It's more like hide and seek, trying to get the photos from the car. Most of my work is done from inside my car. I basically never get out of my car. And in New York, is that running in front, doing this, crossing the street between cars and all that movement. Over here is a little more different. It is harder as well. Way harder to work in LA than it is in
I imagine. So you're actually taking your photos. You're not out. I mean, sometimes you're out on the street taking photos, but for the most part, you're in your car with the windows up, shooting through your window.
That's right.
Do you have tinted windows, or are they just clear?
Blackout windows.
So how do you take a good photo through a tinted window?
Well, it all depends on the lighting, If the lighting is okay during the day, no problem. The cameras that we use those days, you can pull your ISO so high that it doesn't make a big difference, It doesn't really affect the photo.
I would think that it would
if
be
you're
so
having
dark.
a low light, of course, it's going to be impossible to do it. But during the day, it's okay.
By the way, Wagner, this is the first time we're meeting. Where's your accent from?
From Brazil.
Oh, dude, the entertainment market in Brazil is ridiculous. I mean, people love themselves some entertainment news down there. Are you doing BuzzZipper in Portuguese or anything?
No, they are blowing up in Brazil very, very hard the way you're saying. BuzzZipper, I'm keeping as a English platform for me to work on. And we are developing, me and LA Gossip, which is the other guy that works with me. We are developing something to start in Brazil pretty soon, probably a podcast, the same way you guys are doing, to speak in Portuguese, because there is not many of us doing this. And I think there is a nice niche to step in, to talk about the story, the same way we're doing here.
I say you just start
Portuguese. I think it's gonna go well.
Dude, just start up your Instagram. Do the same thing you're posting on Instagram and just do a Portuguese version.
Sure.
It'll blow up. It's huge down there. People love it.
Yeah. So Wagner, why, the reason why you shoot from your car, for the audience to know, is it because you want to get a raw photo, like a real photo, or why is it, or why do you not stand out and let them see you shoot it? Is there a reason for the window shot?
I mean, most likely they feel more comfortable, and many of the times they don't even know I'm there because the car has the window tinted and I'm parked or I'm hiding, and they don't even know I'm there. I get the photo as real paparazzi job, when they realize they were already photographed. And keeping the distance is always better. It's always better. If you keep your distance, you have better chances to get better photos,
Absolutely. Wagner, and you work through an agency. You're not selling these photos directly to the media outlets, right? You're working through like a Backgrid or something?
Exactly. I work with Backgrid for like 9 years already, I think.
So how does it work? Explain to someone how it works. Like, you get a percentage of the photo, or do they own it once you hand it over to them? Like, how does it work with an agency?
Well, with an agent, the way it works is exactly as you mentioned. You get the photo. You basically have an account with them. You have an agreement on percentage. I don't know if everybody has the same percentage or how it works, but I have my cut. They sell it. They present me a sales report, and I get my commission. That's how it goes.
So that I think people wonder, like, again, these are questions that me and you know, but for the audience, they might not know that because they're always interested in our profession.
Sure.
If you take a photo, it necessarily just because you get the photo, you might not make any money on it. You know, it's
yeah.
like so.
100%,
So there's a lot of times you take photos of someone, you upload them, and it takes time just to fix up the photo to upload them. You don't get paid unless they sell. But what makes a photo sell? What for you? What do you define as a good photo?
The story behind it, because a photo of someone today might be worth nothing, like you said, and a photo of the same person half an hour later might be worth something just because something came out on the news, and now the media outlets are looking for this photo, because there is a story behind the photo. For me, a photo is always a photo. I like to go after the stories that sell, and it usually is everything that is on the gossip, going on, and that's what makes more sellable. If there is nothing behind, it's just a picture. It's just a picture of Kim Kardashian in and out, or just a picture of Taylor Swift in and out. But if there is, a new romance or a new breakup or anything involving law, is even better. That's what makes the picture goes higher.
Did you ever get a shot that when you took it, you didn't think anything of it, and then a week later, a month later, it turned into a
Yeah,
huge
like
photo
it
for
happens
you?
a lot. And it happens a lot also when you have high expectations of a picture. Oh, you pump up. Oh, let's go. We're going to make money. This is going to go for this. Maybe we're going to make that. And they just didn't pick it up. They just don't go for it.
Yeah.
So
And,
no.
I mean, if you're working on a desk on TMZ buying photos, so you might even understand it better than me. Sometimes things that are coming really hard in our hand, and we think we are balling and not a nothing, is just not getting picked up by the media outlets.
No, I remember there was a couple times lots of times when an agency would call and they're like, "Oh, we got this great photo, and they're trying to sell me on it." I'm like, I don't see the
Exactly,
excitement in it. I see that you guys are excited about it, but I don't see the excitement at the end of the day. But so I can understand how that works. And then there was times that, there was some kind of news story that broke that you go back and you look in time and you're like, oh crap, like this was that moment that happened and no one knew at the time.
Exactly.
And now you put the photo on and it turns into a massive, massive photo.
Exactly. I think news attract more engagement and traffic for the websites or TV, When it's a regular photo, it's a regular photo. Then it goes by the brand of the persona you're shooting. If you're shooting a C-list, probably it's not going to go anywhere. If you're shooting somebody that is way bigger, the probability is always better for selling,
Yeah. So you start your day. How do you decide what you're going to go for and what you're going to work on? Does Backwards send you out, or do you just have to stay up with the news landscape and say, okay?
I do everything on my own. Backgrid doesn't send me anywhere unless they have a tip that they say like, oh, you want to do this? Then it's my decision if I want to go or not, because I work as a freelancer. But my day in LA varies. I've been here for 40 years now, and I still been learning how to work in LA. I did a lot of Beverly Hills as soon as I came here. I thought, oh, this might be like New York. It is like New York, so I decided not to do Beverly Hills. Then I went to Malibu. Malibu is seasonal, only summer. And now I'm in Calabasas working Kardashians full time.
Wow. So
you can work Kardashians full time. That is a full-time job.
That's a full-time job, yeah.
That's insane. That's incredible.
And it's a team. It's not like one guy job. Over there we have a team because they are too many, and also there is a lot of exits from where they can come from.
So do you know just every car that the Kardashian owns to make sure that when they're leaving Hidden Hills, like which one's them?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, at least we think we know.
So
they
here's
can
a
easily
question.
come out somewhere else or different cars and we miss it. But exactly, that's how it works, yeah.
I feel like the Kardashians very much welcome paparazzi coverage of them because they understand the benefits of it and it being relevant and keeping your photo. Do they kind of not shy away from when they leave, like having their windows down so you know it's them. So it's like, hey, come follow us to the
I
comments or
wish it
whatever.
was that easy, you know, as much as it is the Kardashian. Everybody knows they are a brand that is made out of social media and then being out there being photographed. It's not as simple as that. Everybody has their days, their moods. It's like if she's promoting or if they are promoting, of course, 100%. But when you are getting there on there out and about or, you know, doing something, picking up the kids the basketball, picking up the kids the ballet, that's a different game. Also, they have a lot of security. So it's a game, you know. There is days that we are welcome and there is days that we are not welcome. So it's always the cat and mouse game, you know.
Does the security talk to you guys and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on today, just to make it easier for them, to make it easier for you guys, maybe so, you know, sometimes the follow is not so bad, to make everyone calm during the situation? How does it kind of go down?
Well, there is situation that this does happen. You know, they come up to us and may say, hey, guys, today is not a good day. Nothing's going to happen. You guys not going to get it. You know, they go like this. They go hard on us, asking us to leave. Depending on the situation, you know, we might take it because we know later on they might remember and give us something better. And there is situation that we just have to do it. I've been waiting for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours for you to come out of the studio. After 6, you know, I'm over there. And then after 6 hours, you come talk to me, asking me to leave. Then situations like that, I try not to help them. I try to do my job. But there is a lot of situations that you know, you listen to the guys and you say like, okay, and the next time they become more friendly, and it happens. Yeah, it happens a lot.
So being a celebrity photographer, which Kardashian do you want to come out? Which one is going to get you the best bang for your buck, that's going to talk to you or just give a good interview or just be the most profitable?
I mean, Kim, I think, is always the easy one to deal with. You know, she's more like she deals better with us. And the other ones is more like, you know, depending on their mood. Like yesterday, I photographed Khloe Kardashian coming out to a studio, and it was okay. I mean, through the window, I think they didn't know I was there. I'm not sure, but we got the photos. And I like all of them, but Kim is the easier one to deal with.
That's the thing I say, you know, I you know, as doing the job, I think, Wagner, you would agree. People always ask you about the Kardashians. And for the most part, and I want to know if you have a different opinion, but I'm like, they're actually pretty cool people. You know, they're you know, they're very professional. They're cool. They're nice. They're good to the fans. I mean, yes, it's different from, again, when we first started doing this, Wagner, they were just Kim and she would just kind of walk down the street. It was not as big entourage as it is now. It wasn't such
I remember Kim and Kourtney getting off on Times Square out of the car. That's like back 2008, I think. And this is the photo that actually got me really into the business, because I was doing a tryout, learning the business with another guy. And then this photo got a pickup, I think, for people.com or whatever. And then from that picture, they kind of hired me at the time. And when they come out of the car, I photographed and I was asking the guys, yo, who is this? Who is that? And she was going to TRL on MTV, right?
MTV, yeah.
They come out, beautiful photos. And I'm like, oh, who is this? Oh, this is some sisters from LA, blah, blah, blah. I not even knew who they were. And after that, she got it together with Kanye and she went to live in Houston and 20, you know, the others in Houston that became like a circus, you know, 100 people outside of the building to see them, you know.
You said they hired you. Who hired you?
At the time, it was X17.
Oh, another agency.
I thought you meant Kim and Kourtney hired you. I was like, I need to hear more about this story.
No.
So X17. So right now,
at the time.
Yeah. So right now, is it like you say a few of you guys work on the Kardashians? How many people are working on the Kardashians primarily full time? Would you say?
We are between 4 and 5.
4 or 5 guys. It's interesting that there's not more of a relationship, since you guys work them so much, so often, that there's not even more of a relationship between you and the Kardashians. Like, are they ever reaching out to you guys like, hey, listen, can you guys come back tomorrow and set it up? Or
I think it all depends on the kind of, you know, how the photographer deals with them. I'm a kind of guy that I prefer to be on my side and do my job than being friendly. That might be a mistake, because I know a lot of guys are able to get their approach with the celebrity and they do well. But on my thing, I just there to get a photo, move it on, and I don't want to cut deals, you know, because the deal that I cut it today might be bad tomorrow. if you build a relationship, they can be asking too many favors. So I just do my job, I do the paparazzi job, and I walk away. But there is guys in the industry that are doing really, really well for building up a relationship with a celebrity,
Yeah.
You might know a few of them.
So the Kardashians, I'm assuming, Dax, you probably know about this because I don't know really about where they live. They live in a private gated community. And is it just you guys kind of camped out outside the gated community and wait for those cars to leave, or how does it work?
Man, we don't even camp in front of the place anymore because it's so tough to be there waiting. And in the area, there is a lot of few celebrities that we might find it. So because we are too many, we just keep circling. I don't know, we might bump into one of the cars, because you can be at the gate for a week and don't see nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're working on the Kardashians, but you see Jessica Simpson leave, because she lives there, right? She lives in the same community. If Jessica Simpson leaves, does someone go after her, or you're like, no, we're waiting for Kim?
Yeah, 100%. No. We go for what we see, We're there for a reason, but our eyes are open for anybody that comes along,
Now, do you know a correlation? Like, is there a difference between leaving the front gate where they know Paps might be, or do you see them? Is there a back gate for the community?
There is 3 or 4 exits.
Oh, there's 3 or 4 exits. So, gotcha. So they could potentially,
and really far from each other. So even with a number of guys over there, it's hard to keep watching everything all the time. If you look at my page, you're gonna see basically what I shoot, and you're gonna see like, okay, they not only Kardashians, but that's the reason we are there is for Kardashians.
That's so wild.
It's interesting, dude.
Right.
I never really been to Calabasas, so I really don't know like the landscape or like the way around.
We went out there for Heather McDonald's. You got to see like one naked dude laying on the curb.
I was in Calabasas. There's a naked guy laying on his penis, just laying there. I had to walk by him twice. I was like, was that guy just naked? I walked back a second time, but yeah, that's funny. There was just a naked guy laying on his penis, and that was pretty interesting. Of all places, Calabasas for them to live. I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that live out there. Is Justin Bieber out there?
No, Bieber is back in Beverly Hills.
Oh, he's back in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
God, how is Justin Bieber to work?
Well, he's cool, He has his moods sometimes, but he's down to earth. I like to working on them. The reason I don't go there too much is you deal with more paparazzi. You deal with more guys and more competition, and these always bring heat photos. Because in Beverly Hills you get out of the car. It's not like over here because we don't have the same space. So shoulder to shoulder, that I used to do in New York. So I try to stay away. But I like going down to Beverly Hills to see Jennifer Lopez and Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Wagner, why doesn't anyone work Tom Cruise? I feel like I never see photos of Tom Cruise out.
I believe he's not even in the US. I believe he stays more based in London. I think that's where he stays. And he's not an easy catch.
Yeah, he just knows.
Even in London, I think whatever he is, he's definitely not an easy catch,
Is it just he's been around long enough and he's rich enough to be able to come and go as he pleases without being seen?
First, I don't think he likes that media attention. It's not like what he's into it. He's already like somewhere that he doesn't need it. Like a lot of the celebrities, they already don't need this, and that might be a biggest reason why they don't like us around. And that is the ones that use us to promote themselves or promote the books or promote the movies, and 2 weeks later, they don't want you anymore. Because in the end of the day, I believe paparazzi build brands and destroy brands. He can build you up to where you are, and then you mess it up, you get caught doing something, and it goes downhill. Paparazzi is not allowed in my world anymore.
Yeah.
Which is reasonable, I understand, but I believe we build more brands than destroy it.
We see a lot of celebrities using paparazzi photos for their social media and their Instagram. Has any big celebrities DM'd you and said, hey, can I use your photo? And how do you handle that situation? Because we've also seen lawsuits from paparazzis, photographers against celebrities for using their photo without their permission.
Yeah, I'm not into that game to go after celebrities for using my photos. If they use my photo, the only thing I don't think is fair is they not tag you or they don't want to give you the credits.
Sure.
It's not even the paparazzi photos. I see them basically using so many photos, and they don't want to give you credits to the photographer at all. So the photographer is always like down here and they are up here. But the agents does pursue celebrity or companies copyright infringements. Yeah. But I don't go after. I leave this in the part of the company and and their team.
Has the celebrities DM'd you and said, "Hey, I love that photo. Would you mind if I use it and I tagged you in a photo?" Has that happened before too?
Not that I can recall. Not that I can recall.
I know a few guys that's happened to, and I always like, listen, if a celebrity, some people are like, hey, you could pay for that photo. But I'm like, listen, if a celebrity's nice enough to message you, and I've seen some celebrities give like a nice shout out to the photographer, at least I'm in favor of that. I'm like, you know what, that's sort of nice.
I think it's more than fair if it works that way,
Yeah,
It's more
no,
than
I
fair,
agree.
especially what you're building behind. Like for me, that I'm trying to build in my Boy Zipper and LA Gossip brand, I would be more than welcome for them to use my photo tag and build the relationship. But that's not the way it works. They charge you to tag, they charge you brands to put the name there. So I think they just think that way. But by law, they're not allowed to use the photos,
Yeah.
And kind of speaking of other celebs that like don't get photographed much, how is it that Meghan and Harry don't get photographed more, being as center of attention worldwide as they are at all times? Like, is Santa Barbara like a hard place to work, or Montecito a hard place to work?
I mean, I think they realized that as soon as they moved it to Los Angeles, they went to a community, if I'm not wrong, was Bel Air or Beverly Hills, right on the area. And they were having guys camping and all that, and they moved it to Montecito. It's not hard, but they're not easy to be seen. You're gonna be there a week, 2 weeks, and might not see it. It's a big gate community. Plus, it's just like for me, from where I live, 2 hours and a half drive to go there and come back to Santa Barbara, Montecito. They are far. So I believe that's the biggest reason. They are far from the crowd, from where everybody works. So for you to put it 2 hours, drive there, stay on a gate and don't see nothing, you don't want to come back next day, another 2 hours, another 2 hours, another 2 hours.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they are hard to come out. They're not easy,
Do you have you got Jeff Bezos?
Oh yeah, in Aspen now. I mean, I photographed him a couple times, but in Aspen was a blast. Really nice.
Did you get that famous photo of him like riding horseback through the shops?
No, I wish it was.
I remember that one. That one made me laugh. He's just like horseback.
Actually, I saw him this New Year's Eve, these holidays. He was in Aspen, and I think I photographed him maybe 3 times. Really down to earth, cool guy. It was nice.
Yeah, it's Jeff Bezos. I mean, obviously, he's one of the richest men in the world. Can you get close to him? Does he talk to you? Does he engage? How's his security?
The security, his main security guy is one of the guys that used to work for Taylor Swift. So really? I remember seeing him in Nobu the other night, and I spoke with him and like, yo, man, remember me? I was the guy in Rhode Island, blah, blah, blah. When we got those photos from Taylor Swift, he, oh my God, this is a long time ago. So who are you working with? And he didn't want to tell me. And then I realized he had Jeff Bezos. I couldn't get the shot of that day. But then I saw the guy in Aspen. I'm like, okay, this guy is here. When I realized he was staying at the same hotel as me. So it was easy to figure it out where they were staying during the day.
Wow.
And, I got a him skiing, shopping, dinner.
Now, do you think he likes the attention?
Top security team. I always say, like, especially because it's the same guy that was with Taylor Swift, totally like a military status. They come out, they check the cars, they check this. Very, very professional.
Is the guy Israeli?
That guy, I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
A lot of the bodyguards are like former Israeli,
I think Bieber guys is a lot of those guys. Bieber, yeah.
Yep. So interesting. Is Aspen a pretty good place to work? I know that it's like 2 weeks out of the year. It's like Christmas to New Year's, but do you enjoy working Aspen?
Oh yeah, it's fun. I love the town. It's way different than working here. I can brave the weather because I'm from New York. I grew up working on the streets of New York, so the weather doesn't bother me. But it's interesting because it's so different. It's like a vacation work time, because you're doing so many different things. You're looking for so many different names that you don't see often during your day. So I like going to Aspen. It's
But
just
it's not.
tough because of the
It's.
holidays. You got to be away from the family.
I got to imagine though that's an expensive time of year to be getting a hotel room in Aspen. It's not
It
a
is.
big town, so
Mhm.
it's probably limited. So how many photos do you have to sell to make a trip to Aspen worth it?
I mean, it all depends. We always got a nice deal with the agency, We sit down, we talk, we see how much it might be the expenses. They put it on the table, and we see how it goes. Do we really want to go? Those are the risks. This is what we can do. And I usually we go like a half and a half. And if we sell over, we pay the agents what it is over, and if it is less, they cover up for us. But I never left Aspen losing, So
Mhm.
I've been there for 2 or 3 years now on the holidays. I never left losing, so I like going there. It's okay.
Is
'Cause,
Mariah fun to cover?
it's those pictures I believe at the end of the year everybody's looking for. It's the snow, the holidays, everybody looking glamorous and having fun in Aspen. So it's a sellable photo.
Yeah, is Mariah Carey fun to cover because she's there
Oh
every year
yeah,
at that time?
yeah. She loves to go to the stores at night shopping. Nice girl as well, always talking to us. This year I got a nice happy holidays from Jeff Bezos and from Mariah Carey talking on the camera, so it was nice.
That's awesome. So, Wagner, you've been doing this job obviously for more than a decade. What's been your biggest photo ever? Like the one that brought in the most for you?
I mean, I'm not even gonna say money wise, but this
Don't
is
tell
a
me
nice
money, but tell me who the person was.
This is a nice money as well. But the one that I mentioned from Rhode Island, Taylor Swift on 4th of July, that she was dating that guy Tom.
You got those photos?
Yeah, that he came with
Tom
I love
Hiddleston.
I love TS. Yeah, I love TS. A short coming down. That he took that selfie with. I don't know how many celebrities were on that photo. Man, but
Wagner,
it
I
was,
didn't know you got those famous photos. That's
yeah,
huge.
bro.
That was a huge set of Taylor on the beach with Tom and Blake Lively and Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds, and
Reynolds,
everyone was
the
there.
girls from Orange is the New Black, Cara
Yeah.
Delevingne. And the funny thing about that photo, I never realized it. Who was at the photo till I start editing. And then I submitted one photo to the agency and say, oh, this is what I got. Oh my God, look, do you know who is that? And I'm start looking, I'm like, oh my God, this might go big. But that job was interesting for being like 4 or 5 days camping on the beach. And at the end, I was already like, we're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. And then that happened,
Now,
That
Wait, Dax, hold on. Paint me the
these
picture.
photos
What
were-
was this photo exactly? If you remember,
dude,
this photo.
these photos were massive. So this was you said what Memorial Day was it?
No, that's what 4th of July.
4th of July. So 4th of July, Taylor Swift had this she would have like this massive annual party, and I think it only
Exactly.
like 1 or 2 years, really. But she, you know how Taylor is, she has all of her friends come out, and they were all hanging out. She had like a slip and slide in her backyard and like a bounce house. She had all kinds of fun things. And then at one point, they left the home, went down to the beach, and all of them were hanging out in the water. But the most famous photo from that was Tom Hiddleston wearing the shirt that said I love TS, and he was out splashing around. Everyone's like, oh God, that's so lame. But that photo went around the world. I had no idea that you took that photo. That is a really cool, famous
It was amazing
photo.
lucky day, It was me and Umberto. I don't know if you remember Umberto,
Sure.
Adam.
Yeah,
Me
of
and
course.
Umberto. And we had the angle from the beach, but it had competition at the lighthouse from the other side. But our photos are more frontal, their photos are more sideways. Even with them getting stuff and we getting stuff, it was, like you said, worldwide, everywhere. Big shots. It's on the top of my shelf for sure.
So did they know that you guys were out there? Like, did they have any inclination? Because I feel like with that many famous people,
No.
that could have been a fun photo shoot, or they would have never gone because
They
they knew
had no
paparazzi.
clue.
No clue.
For 4 days, security walking on the beach, trying to figure it out. At the time, I took my wife with me. Umberto took his girlfriend. And as soon as we get to the beach, big backpacks, security eyeballing eyes with binoculars, watching. We hide the bags under the rocks. I put in my Brazilian Speedos. We start playing some soccer, playing some ball, and they disconcentrated and, they forgot about us.
God, I love
But,
this.
security come, you hug your girl, you're playing the game. And they were really near us when it happened. And when they realized it was too late, one of them tried to run after me. I ran, and they were never able to catch us.
The security
I love
ran
this
after you.
story behind the story when it comes to the Taylor Swift famous photos.
good.
This is so great.
Wait, so the security ran after you, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think their idea was?" Like,
No, he was probably trying to ask me to stop, but I don't even gave him a chance to get closer to me. So I just ran to another angle and kept shooting. And I just remember Umberto saying, I think like, she's in red. And then I think I was shooting Carly Claus because Carly Claus was in red. And I'm like, oh, but this is not her. And then I'm looking, But maybe 20 celebrities on that photo. I don't remember a pep shot that can have so many celebrities in one photo besides an event, you know?
that is awesome. That is so cool.
I love this story.
That is great, man. And I like don't tell me the exact. Is that a six-figure thing for you?
For
Wow,
sure, yeah.
that's insane. The thing is, the industry's changed. Like people think, and Wagner, people think, we make a ton of money off the content we get, but it's weird because the money's not in the industry like it once was. Would you say so?
100%.
That was like during the time when you can, but not as it's not that much.
I remember when we
anymore.
started, every Wednesday you go to the newsstands to open the magazine to see how many photos you got published and all that. And by the photos you get published, you start counting money. And magazines are dead, unfortunately. They're not there anymore. Mm-hmm. I think there is still money in the business, but it's so hard to control who is using the photos those days. Because you sell for one outlet that buys your photo for 24 hours agreement. He's the only one that you're going to use your photo for 24 hours. But he paid for that content for 24 hours. But you're going to see your content everywhere. Yeah. Of course, the big names are not going to use it, but every little guy is using the photos and we are not getting a commission out of this. I believe that's the hardest things to keep track of those days. If we had something on the photo, that doesn't matter. Once your photo goes, people get paid by views, right? Those days. Imagine how many views a photo that I take out of my camera, how many views those photos has, and I'm getting paid just the first commission of the first sell. Mm-hmm. But the photos are being seen for millions or billions of people worldwide. So that's the toughest thing about the business those days.
Do you have any other really famous photos that we had no idea were yours?
Like, what's
I have good ones and bad ones.
I just want to know what are the ones that got like the most attention that I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that photo.
All right. Actually, it wasn't a photo, it was a video. Alec Baldwin running out of photographers in New York. And before he getting into the car, he said like, fuck a cocksucker or something like that. Mm-hmm. And this brought him a lot of heat and a lot of problems. Unfortunately, that wasn't the intention. Yeah, but that also was a big movement in the media about what happened. If I'm not wrong, unfortunately, he even lost some contracts that he had at the time. But also, this is something that went really buzz around.
Well, Alec Baldwin's a dick. He has always been a dick, so I'm not surprised to hear that. He's spit on photographers. He's just, I mean, if you can call your own daughter a pig, then you're just.
What I try to explain people that sometimes ask me, like, I never come out of my house with the intention to mess up with somebody. I come out of my house with the intention just to get a photo and make it happen, Yeah. But that's what happens. Sometimes the story comes on a different way. I'm the one who got lucky, and he's the one who's gonna get screwed, Because when they need it, they there, and when something bad happens, it happens, Mm-hmm. It goes bad. It goes bad.
What else? What else have you shot?
Huh?
What else have you shot?
Yeah. What's another like? What's a really good story that you worked on? Even if you waited, again, you were probably about a day from giving up on working Taylor Swift. Is there another thing that you worked on that you put a lot of time into and it finally ended up? And yes, there is some luck towards it, to getting that big shot, but you have to put yourself in a situation where you can get lucky. Have you had any of those type of situations?
You had one that I hid in a car for maybe 3 days. That guy, I'm not sure if he was doing rehab. The guy from Keith Hampton, he was from the famous HBO TV show. Oh my God, it's not gonna come up in my mind now. He was doing rehab in Connecticut. What's the HBO famous thing? Biggest hit HBO.
You're
The
talking about
Dragons.
House of Cards Netflix.
With the dragons, they have the
Game of
winter.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Exactly. What's the name of the guy?
Kit Harington.
That's right. That was a little weird to get it because I had to hid in my car for a few days, and I finally got it. But when I got it, the security found me in the car, and he came up to me and like, "Oh, you cannot do that." I said, "Doing what? I'm on a public parking lot." And the guy was the same guy that used to work with Selena Gomez, but that photo also went big because he was doing rehab and kind of nobody knew about it, and he was in a place in Connecticut. So that took me 3-4 days as well to be in the car trying to see when he's gonna pass it. Till I figured it out what happens at the place, and I knew he had a Pilates classes outside of the environment, so they had to go to this Pilates class, and I got it.
I love hearing these stories. On another note, have you had any celebs reach out to you that want to do a setup shot?
Yeah, but that happens often, you know. That happens often because the ones that are promoting their brand today, I believe they really want to have a lot of control of the images. So it happens. That's normal in the business. I hear people say, "Oh, they call the paparazzi or they hire the paparazzi." I think the ones that are doing are really smart about it, you know, because you have more control. You know what's going to be
100%.
published. You know how it's going to work. You exactly know how you dress and how they're going to catch you. And it is business. Everybody's here to be seen and to work. Because if you are in Hollywood, you don't want to be seen, you're not going to get deals outside your movie anymore, you know, because if you don't have your engagement outside, I don't see brands catching you unless you are a Brad Pitt or somebody that big that they don't need this. But especially the young ones, the ones that is being there trying to do brand deals, I believe the brand deals are looking for people that got engagement on social media those days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we support the setup shots 100%. We're all for it. Do you know, and I'm not saying necessarily someone that you've worked with, but do you know a celeb out there that has utilized the setup?
Oh yeah, a few of them, yeah.
Can you name anyone?
I prefer not to mention because then I might be putting the guy in the shade, you know what I mean? But there is a lot of celebrities that kind of have the personal photographer. I'm not even going to say personal paparazzi because what they do is not a paparazzi job, but the distribution of the pictures is the same outlet as the paparazzi. So we end up on the same media outlets, but they are their own professional photographers, you know? A few of them has guys working together already.
Well, I think it's pretty well known that the Kardashians will have someone shoot them, especially in tropical locations. Does that screw up your stuff with them, though, if they have their own photographer?
I mean, the only way that excuse me, the only way that would mess it up my work when that happens is if I got a photo today and they are trying to sell it, and right away comes a photo of them in bikini in Bahamas, whatever. Then, of course, they're going to look at my photo and say, we don't need this anymore. And then they're going to go for the bikini ones. Yep. If I sold my photo now and the bikini one shows up 10 minutes later, it doesn't affect me in nothing. It doesn't make a difference for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Wagner, there's a big video that came out yesterday of Raquel from Vanderpump Rules. Obviously, that's a big news story. A lot of people have been working on the whole Vanderpump Rules cheating scandal. But there was a video, and I think it was a pretty confident, it was a backward video of Raquel, and she was speaking to the camera at a nail salon. Now, the video was sort of random. It was like in a random strip mall outside the nail salon. Do you know if that video was a setup shot?
I haven't watched the video, so I can comment on that one because I didn't watch it. But it all depends. I'm not following up really the story because I haven't been working on them. But there is a possibility, but also there is a possibility that is not. Some celebrities are just willing to talk. You are the best one doing that. You take one question after other, after other, after other, and say, oh my God, then Adam is a machine. He comes with, before you go, okay, just one more. And you go, and you go, and you go. People that doesn't know you might say like, this guy arranged this conversation, you know?
Yeah.
So I think Adam depends on the moment, you know?
What do you think, Adam? Do you think it was set up? Because it was really, really random.
It was really random. I'm so torn because actually one of the photographers who did it was our friend Clint.
Okay.
I think was one of the photographers on it. And listen, I'm so for it. I think it's great if she did do it. It was just very odd how like she was sitting on a chair, the guy came up, and it was the whole like setup of it was weird. The Tyra Banks video recently with TMZ outside of Whole Foods, a random supermarket, that was 100% set up. I mean, that was so bad. Actually, I almost want to call it Tyra Banks' PR team. Like, guys, that was so bad. If this is what you think setup shots are, like, we could have done it so much better. At least do it in a better
I think
place.
like setups has to be done in a way that doesn't look like a setup, and it looks good. But you mentioned that the photographer that got the video was Clint.
Yeah.
So for being Clint, I wouldn't say it's a setup. The guy's good.
He got the photo, but I think someone else did the video because I didn't notice there was a Clint's accent in the video. So it could have been his partner. I don't know. It was interesting. What when you do doorstepping, and doorstepping obviously is like hanging outside a celebrity's home. Of all the celebrities you've kind of maybe dabbled with doing that, which celebrity has the nicest home?
Oh man, over here is a tough call, man, because the houses are huge. Just following J Lo last week and Ben Affleck, they were looking for a house like a $60 million, $70 million. So it's hard to tell which one has the nicest because they are so big and so beautiful. The ones inside of the communities, of course, I cannot see it, but some of them I have flew on a chopper before to get photos, and they are just massive mansions, things that we don't see in New York. In New York, the guy can have a 60 million apartment, but when he steps out on the street, he just regulars everybody else, Over here, they are driving the fancy cars, all the jewelry and everything. We don't see that in New York. We don't see the wealth in New York. It's not like there, like a building where there is Blake Lively. Those apartments over there, from what I heard, goes for skyrocket prices, But you look at the building outside and say like, oh, just regular people live here, but it's not.
It's so true.
I would say anyone in Bel Air, in Beverly Hills, they have huge mansions. It's unbelievable.
I was going to say, I remember being in New York, and same thing. The hard part about New York is it looks like it's a full building, but that building could be cut into 7 apartments that you're seeing. Or that person owns every floor. And so it's a $30 million
it can be worth it can be worth the same thing as a big mansion over here, but it's just like in a building, and it's like, well, how come a building can have something worth that money,
And then the building goes really far back. Yeah, it's weird. You can't tell in New York how expensive things are. Well, Wagner, what do you feel like is like the biggest misconception about being a celebrity photographer?
I believe people trash eyes all the time, not understanding the business behind it, not understanding exactly what happens over here, because we are the ones to get blamed for everything. Doesn't matter how good or how bad. I get a photo of someone. I got a picture of Tristan Thompson this week with a girl talking on a parking lot. The only thing I wrote was Tristan Thompson talks to a friend outside in a parking lot after going to appliance store, whatever. That's what I wrote. Backgrid caption, basically same thing. You open an article, man. They trashing the guy as a cheater, have a new girl. Where is Khloe Kardashian? Where is that? But we are the ones to get blamed for it, The big bosses are behind those desks, telling people to write the stories, how they want to push, to have the content, to have the engagement, to have the clicks. In the end, they blame us. And next week they are at the same outlet doing an interview, talking nice, but the blame is from the photographer, not for the outlet that put the story out. The photographer always get blamed for everything that happened. So I think the misconception is more about who we are, what we build. Like I said, we build brands, and the big money is behind it. It's not on us. The photographer is the one that gets the little cut. It's a $1 billion industry. A lot of people making money out of my photos, of off photos, and we are the ones that get blamed for everything. But the business is way behind my back, way behind my back. It's not on my hands. My hands is to take the photo, but the money is somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of truth behind that. Wagner, you interested in doing a speed round with us? And we're going to have you name a couple celebrities, first person that comes to your mind?
All right, let's try.
All right, let's try first one. I'll start off, Dax. All right. If I'm in LA and I want to see a celebrity, where would I go?
That's what I'm saying. Over here is not that easy, but definitely the Beverly Hills. That's where they are out and about most often.
Craig's. That's what you say. Craig's for sure. All right, nicest celebrity.
Oh, nicest one, Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
I agree. Best looking in person female.
Woo. I like a few of them. I had a few crushes on a few of them. I like Hillary Duff, man. I like her.
Okay. Definitely haven't heard that name come up before. That's
No, I agree with her. I agree. Hillary Duff.
I mean, it's more natural, you know.
Sure.
Is a girl that I think is interesting. She
Mhm.
does her thing and doesn't care about nothing around her. So I like her.
I like Hillary. All right. Best looking male celebrity
Male celebrity.
in person.
Man, it's funny. The older he gets, more handsome the guy is. I would say Brad Pitt, because that guy, doesn't matter how old he gets or how young he was, is exactly what you see.
Yeah.
There is no difference. There is some guys that you might look in one way and see one thing, and the other guy, when you photograph, it's like, oh, it's not that. But Brad Pitt is a cool guy.
Funniest celebrity.
Funnest celebrity.
The funniest.
I mean, I don't talk to them very often, but Kevin Hart, when you get your camera on him, if he's on the mood, he might throw a few jokes and, go along with you.
All right. I like that. Who hates being photographed the most?
Ooh, damn. I should have that one on top of my head, huh? Because what is, I would throw on this guy chest, Andrew Garfield. I don't like him.
Really?
Yeah. Me and
I'm
him
surprised.
face to face a few times. A few times. Andrew
That one
Garfield.
surprised me. Like I expect an Alec Baldwin. I expect a Woody Harrelson. I did not
Alec,
expect
if
Andrew
he's not
Garfield.
involved on something, he's okay. He comes out of
Yeah.
his house, he doesn't even look
He's
at you.
grumpy, but he's not
But
going to
Andrew
talk to you.
Garfield,
Yeah.
doesn't matter where I saw him, come at me, knock on my window, or come face to face to me. In Malibu, came out of the water, throwing a big show, you know what I mean? And yeah, I would say Andrew Garfield.
All right.
Who loves being photographed the most?
Kardashians.
What about the scariest celebrity? Where you're like, oh, I'm not even gonna film them. Fuck this.
Most of the guys related to hip hop. I don't like doing Drake, all those guys related to hip hop. If they say like, oh, we have this job, you want to do it, I try to step away. Because it's a different kind of security. They are looking for different stuff around them. It's not only the photographer. And they are aggressive, very aggressive.
Okay. Who has the biggest entourage?
Those hip hop guys, they ride with a lot of people, man. They usually have 3, 4, 5 guys. It's that's what I'm saying. It's really hard to get near them because I think they're looking for something else. So even Drake rides with a lot of guys.
So you just kind of mentioned who has the worst security. Who has the best security?
I like it to work on Taylor Swift when she had those guys. That one of those guys went to Jeff Bezos because I think they were always professional. If she didn't want the photo, they would tell right away, "Hey guys, you're wasting your time. It's easier for you to see Santa Claus than see Taylor today." So they were straight to the point. If there was a photo, they organized in a way that she would be comfortable and we would get the shot. And I like guys that work with us in a professional way, respecting what we do. So Taylor Swift is a cool crew. I mean, but that was 3, 4 years ago. I don't know how they're rolling now. It's been a while we don't see her.
And my last question is, if you could shoot one person today, who's the person?
Today, to like what, money wise, or just
like the biggest shot for you now, the one who is your the main goal, because they're the most profitable person. They're always the most profitable for you.
And I've been so attached to the Kardashian stories those days that I haven't been going somewhere else. Right now in the news, there is nothing that I would be hunting because it changes every day. I can be here talking to you, I see something popping up and go after. So I don't go on I want to get this. It all depends on the story, you know. If there is no story, I already said where I am. I'm gonna be doing a lot of Kardashians, and Kardashian, there is news every day. So today you're here and they doing this or they doing that, or they launching another product, or they breaking up with another lover, or they having another lover, or the kids are doing this. So over there is always things going on, but I don't have a big target that I want to go after right now.
I would say Taylor with her boyfriend would be a really good shot. Like them vacationing on the beach would be massive because you don't ever see them out.
And but that's like if you had like, oh, what's your dream shot? All right,
Yep.
that's a dream shot. That would work definitely. Like being more realistic. I don't have anything on top of my head that I say like, oh, I want to get this story because it's hot right now, you know. But the one that you mentioned, definitely, yeah.
That would be huge. Well, Wagner, you have been incredible. This was a really fun podcast. I just loved hearing your kind of like behind the scenes stories of some of your big photos. I think our fans are gonna love those stories. So, and if you want to support Wagner, go on to his Instagram account, BuzzZipper. You can also go to the website, BuzzZipper.com. He's got a lot of just awesome, fun content on there, a lot of celebrity photography, videos. It is definitely, if you're into celeb news, you will like his new site. But thank you so much, buddy, for coming on. This was cool. It was nice to meet you. Thanks, Adam, for setting this whole thing up.
Thank you, guys. Anytime, man. It was a pleasure.
That was a lot of fun.
He was awesome, dude. Like, what a home run on that booking. Good job. That was really fun. I had no idea that he was behind some of those photos and videos. Like, I like to go into an interview kind of knowing some of the stuff that these people have shot. No clue. That was a great surprise.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't know he shot the Taylor Swift photos on the beach. So, and just to hear his perspective, how LA works compared to New York, you know, LA, these guys are in their car just shooting through a window. They're not out there like they're just shooting through the window. It's a lot. It's a long day in a car, but check out BuzzZipper. It's a really fun account to see Wagner's photos. I mean, Wagner's been doing this longer than I have, and he's good at what he does, man. He used to race his bike around New York City. Now he's in LA, and he's got like a crew in LA that he works with. And, you know, just to work pretty much full time on the Kardashians says a lot about the Kardashians 100%. And their fame level and how much money you could kind of make from them, because he's doing all right.
Especially if there's 5 guys working them and they're able to provide for 5 photographers. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. So make sure you check out BuzzZipper on Instagram to support Wagner. Thank you guys for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, and leave a comment for our on a podcast app, wherever you listen to the podcast. It's the best thing to do to support the podcast.
Yes, please go to Apple iTunes. That is that, or I don't know if you can do a comment on Spotify, but Apple is where we're normally pulling from. Leave us a review, 5-star, say something kind. We'll read it out at the top of the show like we always do, give you a little shout out. So, and thank you to everyone who's been doing it. Like Adam said, it is the best thing that you could do for us. It really helps get us in front of other eyes and ears as well. And you can follow us on social media at Hollywood Raw Pod, right? On Instagram, and Hollywood Raw on TikTok and Facebook, and we're kind of everywhere. And please come join our Facebook group. We have so much fun in there. It's called Off the Record. You guys were really funny the last couple days. I love the feedback. I'm sorry, Adam. There was a really funny photo in there of you a couple days ago of you next to Epstein, but it made me laugh really hard.
Yeah, he's an old friend. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for supporting. See you guys next time.
Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from. Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.